Let me start by saying 3 albums came out that I could review that would get me so many more clicks. But I'm sorry to Death Cab for Cutie, Ariana Grande, and Ninja Sex Party, because I'm reviewing Lorde instead. Hello, my musically inferior viewers, and welcome back to the Music Review Emporium, the only doctor-recommended cure for thinking Smells Like Teen Spirit is a good song. Today, I will be reviewing Lorde's sophomore album, Melodrama. This album was produced by Lorde and Jack Antonoff, among others. It explores LL Yelich O'Connor's emotions after her breakup with her longtime boyfriend, James Lowe. I remember being so pumped for this album when it was first announced. I remember I was sitting in the digital media lab in my college on YouTube, just refreshing constantly, waiting for the green light video to go up. And when it did, like, that was so good. So after this album released, I listened to it for like 3 weeks. That is how good this album was. So was it worth it? I don't know. Let's find out. So here's how reviews work on this channel if you're new here. I have already listened to this album, so you don't have to, and I've given every song a score. The final score of this album will be determined by the average of all those scores. Please keep in mind that these are just my opinions, so please don't get mad at me if I praise Animal Collective and then trash the Rolling Stones. So without further ado, let's talk about Melodrama. The first track on this album is Green Light. And I'm going to throw out a warning right now. I'm going to say things like whisper singing and talking about dynamics a lot, because she has this very intense piano singing voice throughout this song and other songs. She's very good with her dynamics. And even though it's very quiet, it is still very intense. This song sounds like she's having an argument with somebody in public, and she's trying to prevent it from becoming a scene. Antonoff is in it playing the piano, and it's just got this very upbeat, happy sound, and it's such a fun track. It was the first single, and it's good. So this song gets a 9.5 out of 10. The next track, Sober, is a little bit of a weaker point on the album, if you ask me. It sounds like she's doing a duet with herself, which is really cool, and it does keep up the dreamlike nighttime feeling that this album has. And like I said, it's definitely good. It's just a little bit more bland of a song, if you ask me. But it does get a bonus in my book because it's got some really solid lyrics in it. So this song gets about a 9 out of 10. The next one is Homemade Dynamite, which is one of my favorite songs. One of my favorite Lorde songs in general, but I don't really have much to say about it. It's got good repetition of sounds in the chorus, and it's a good song, and really it deserves a listen. If any of these songs on here, if you're gonna listen to one song on here, I would really recommend Homemade Dynamite. So the next song is The Louvre, which it opens up with her voice and just instruments that are barely there. And then in the bridge to the chorus, it starts coming in a little bit more, and then her voice starts layering on itself for this like choir feel. I'm sorry if you can hear my cat. I rewatched my past 2 videos on this channel, and I heard her meowing, and I keep forgetting to say I'm sorry that my cat meows through the entire video. The door is shut, and you can still hear her. She is so loud. So the end of this song has a very twangy kind of guitar part that fades out, and again, that really solidifies the dreamlike feeling. On this album, there are a lot of dreamlike sections, which only makes sense because it is a dream pop album. But anyways, The Louvre gets a 10 out of 10. The next song is Liability, and usually I don't really like the obligatory sad songs on albums, but this song is an exception. All of the lyrics are very personal and hit home so well. For example, I'm not going to go into detail about all the lyrics, but in the first verse, she's singing about being in love with this girl and how she's like the only relationship she hasn't screwed up, and how this girl is so hard for her to please. And then at the end of the verse, you find out she's singing about herself. So it's really interesting. It's got great use of dynamics, especially there in the second verse. It's wonderful. It's a 9.5 out of 10. I love it. Hard Feelings is next, and it's one of the more mysterious tracks on the album. It incorporates some heavy synth noises, which I hated when the song first came out, but they've really grown on me in the past couple of years. This track also comes with Loveless, which is a bonus track or secret track or whatever. I don't know. They're named together, so I don't know what it's supposed to be, but since they're named together, I'm reviewing it as one song. And that kind of works because Loveless, on a feeling level, they are very much polar opposites. When you listen to Hard Feelings, it's quiet and it's mysterious. And when you listen to Loveless, it sounds upbeat and poppy. And it kind of sounds like a 50s song, like mindless, just like bubblegum, stuff like that. But it really holds on to those cynical lyrics that you hear in Hard Feelings. So Hard Feelings and Loveless together is 9.5 out of 10. Now about halfway through the album, you have Sober 2 Melodrama, which kind of has this feeling of being the intermission of the album. If you've ever seen Kiss Me Kate, it's kind of like Brush Up Your Shakespeare. It feels like the narrator of the album is taking a moment, stepping out from the album, and addressing the audience. This is a break from everything. And it's saying, oh, you think what you've heard in the first half of this album is me overreacting? Well, we told you this was melodrama. So it's kind of like telling the audience, if you think I'm overreacting, I warned you in the title of this album. So while it's super interesting like that, it again kind of suffers from a blandish kind of sound. But again, it's still really good. It gets another 8.5 out of 10 in my opinion. So the next song is one of two songs on this album that really hit hard for me, and it's called Writer in the Dark. So it has this powerful chorus, and it's about someone wanting to go back to their ex, and they know that they can't, they know that they shouldn't, and it's more than that. It's more than just, I'm past the stage in my life where breakup songs really get to me, but it's more of a song about wanting something, but knowing that it's not good for you. And it's a beautiful sound. So Writer in the Dark gets a 10 out of 10. The second song that really hits home for me is Supercut. So those of you that know me in real life know me and my fiance, Lexy, were long distance for a long time. So this song is just this upbeat pop song about, you know, all these good memories that you have together while ignoring the bad memories. And she means it on this album. It's like in a unhealthy way, but the song always still reminds me of Lexy and like how we would take these trips across the country to Florida or to New York to visit each other, and just having those happy memories when most of the time we were just apart and sad and it sucked. But it is a wonderful song. Near the end of the song, there is a section where all the instruments cut, and it's just this acoustic recording of her singing. It fits really well. It feels like she just cut out what was being professionally recorded, pulled out an iPhone, and just recorded her singing into the iPhone and just sent it to the producer, and it works so well. I love this song. It gets a 9.5 out of 10. The next song is Liability, the reprise, and it's another part of the album that reminds me of a musical. Like, obviously this is all Lorde's album, but this sounds like her solo, you know what I mean? So the interesting thing about this song is it's like two separate songs layered on top of each other, and that gives it, again, that really dreamlike kind of feeling. And so you have one part of the song saying, I'm a liability, and then there's a bigger part of the song where, again, she's being layered, so it sounds like a choir just saying to her, you're not what you think you were. What it's saying is, like, you may think you're a liability, but you're not. You're not the liability you think that you are. I don't know, it's beautiful. It's got me all up in my feelings, all up in here. But the reprise of Liability gets a 10 out of 10. And after that in-depth look at the reprise of Liability, I kind of feel bad bringing up Perfect Places because I don't have that much to say about it. It's this fun, upbeat song. It's a great song, but it's really not a great closer. Closers always kind of feel to me like they're supposed to be like the goodbye, like this is the end of the album, I'll see you next time. That's it. That's all you're getting for a year or two. So it's kind of to me for a closer, but it's still solid. Still gets a 9 out of 10. And that's Melodrama. My favorite track on it is Supercut, definitely, and I mean that is just my personal thing. This is totally biased. It's my favorite track on this album, though. My least favorite is Sober, and it's just a little generic, just a little bland as far as Lorde goes, but it's still such a great song. Overall, Melodrama gets a 9.5 from me. It's a great album. I would recommend everyone, even if you haven't listened to Lorde, to pick it up, give it a listen. You know, if it's not for you, it's not for you, but this is definitely one of my favorite albums from 2016. So this is only her second album, but Ella Yelich O'Connor, aka Lorde, aka Randy Marsh, has cemented herself as an amazing artist who has a unique and enjoyable take on pop music as a whole. I'm super excited to see what she puts out in the future, but unfortunately lately she's just gone quiet on her social media, deleted everything. So I'm just kind of excited to see what she's going to do in the future. If only she would tweet or something.